Welcome back to the Two Touch podcast mini-series where me, Matty Downing, and my business partner Alex Woolerton bring on a variety of guests, maybe people that we've been lucky enough to play with during our football careers, coaches that we've worked with, and family and friends as well.
On today's episode, we've got a coaches special. We're absolutely delighted to be joined by Theo Hudson and Lucas O'Dunstan. Two Touch coaches, grew up playing at Leeds together alongside Matty and myself. And today we're going to dig deep into their journey as footballers and where they are today in life.
The team was like, I was like a fish out of water basically, because it was like Foden, Sancho, Emile Smith-Rowe.
You earn your own luck in football and you have to work hard to be able to get that luck.
Why on earth would I have said that?
Odd shout. Oh, he's gone.
Remember when I set your hair on fire?
Yeah.
That one was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. That.
So boys, how are we both?
Good.
Yeah,
Good mate, yeah.
Feel alright, yeah.
Decent. Both fresh off holidays, by the way, aren't
Yeah,
they?
you're looking well,
Yeah.
boys.
Tan.
Bit of a tan. 9-minute holidays.
Yeah.
Where you been, Fee?
Albufeira just with a few at lads.
Good.
Quiet one.
It was steady, yeah.
Bit of a different holiday, haven't we? I've been Mallorca with Mrs.
It's been
and Menorca,
Magaluf.
so
It's been Magga.
I've been on the children, he's been
You
on.
know how to treat it, don't you,
holiday.
mate? Go on then, crack on.
Lads, obviously we know you very well, but as we keep finding out from parents and clients of ourselves, you know, not many of them know the footballing journeys that we've been on. You know, we're obviously providing as much of a good product as possible as coaches, but I think sometimes they don't realise where we've been maybe as players and where we were at, you know, their kids' ages. So, you know, we'll start with you, Lucas. Do you want to just take us back to the start when you started playing and maybe just a little bit about where you got up to where you're playing now?
Yeah. I started playing football from when I was walking, like when I was about 2-3 years old, just kicking a ball. But then I properly started joining a team. I was at Leeds City Juniors, which is the team that Matty plays for now. Not the junior side, he is small. but I joined them at 5.
Get a game if needs be.
Joined them at 5. Got scouted at a gala one day, which is why obviously I think it's great that you guys do your galas, because that's where a lot of people come. And obviously it's not about scouting, it's about having fun. But that's where I was, and I got picked up from the age of 7 there. I went to Leeds, went in their shadow squads. Long story short, I basically stayed at Leeds from the age of 7 when I got signed. I'm not sure what age you actually get signed, but I was there from 7 till
9.
18. So it was about 11, 12 years, give or take. Loved it there. Wouldn't have changed a thing, pretty much. We all say the same thing. We speak about it so highly. Everything about it was good. It was good for me as a person, not just a player. Unfortunately, didn't get a pro contract, which was a bit gutting, but it's how it is. It's ruthless. But then I was lucky enough to get picked up 2 weeks later by Hull City. Signed a pro there. Got another extension. Got another year there. So I ended up with 2 years. Unfortunately, it got cut short. I got injured. In and out. I had a few ankle surgeries and shin injuries. So I was out for about 1.5 years, 2 years, which kind of killed me a little bit. So dropped out of that. Out of pro football, kind of whirlwind then, do you know what I mean? You don't know what to do when all you've done is play football. You've never, obviously you leave school a little bit early, you don't go to sixth form, sorry. So yeah, kind of picked up a job, started working in a school, then playing semi-pro football. So I went to Bradford Park Avenue, stayed there for 3 years, ended up being captain last year, which was really good. It's just men's football, it's completely different, as you'll know. Like, I'm small, do you know what I mean? We're all small apart from you, Woolers, so it's easy to get thrown around the pitch.
Thin.
But it's good for you. You need it. So yeah, then I left Bradford Park Avenue just this year, and I've signed at Guiseley. So this coming season starts in about a week and a bit. Yeah, signed at Guiseley. Enjoying it, loving it, pre-season. I mean, I've swanned off on holiday, so I missed a little bit of pre-season, missed a few games. But
You 8 holidays as well, though, don't you?
I do 8 holidays, yeah. I only go on like 5 a year, so it's all right.
It's got to be a fine now.
Yeah. Can we cut that bit out? No, but yeah, it sounds good, and I think you'll have a similar-ish journey to Theo.
Yeah.
Playing together at Leeds, same age group.
Yeah,
growing up.
So what?
He always says,
bit too long.
yeah, you always say you were there before me.
I was, and then I got dropped and then
Yeah,
came back.
and then he got dropped and brought back
Got
up. But
resurrected.
we've literally, since 7 years old, we've known each other.
A bit too long, yeah.
We see
we work
way
together.
too much of each other. We work 3 jobs:
And 2
football, work in a school, and we coach. And we work in the same school together, and we coach together. So we see each other too much.
Bet you see more than your missus, don't you?
Pretty much, mate. Yeah. Every time I say to my missus I'm going to go see Theo, she's like, you see him every single day.
Who's a better kisser?
Oh, chill out. Steady you.
Go on then, Theo. Do you want to take us through, obviously, started at Thorpe Arch with Lucas.
Yeah.
Similar age. Similar journey to him, a little bit different?
Similar-ish. I started at Knaresborough Celtic, which was my local team. Started playing football when I was 6, so I was a little bit later than some of the other lads. And then got picked up at a gala again. Went to Leeds, did my shadow squad, got sacked off from Leeds, went back to playing Sunday football, then got picked up again. Then went into the academy and signed there at 9 years old. Went all the way through 9 to under 23s, so yeah, good journey.
You was there when Bielsa was there, was that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So were you, mate.
I'm just asking, mate.
I think I missed out on that one.
Yeah, you didn't see him. You didn't see Marcelo, did you?
So obviously, you both touched upon there, getting to that point where you did extremely well to get scholarships, and then just getting towards that professional contract era, you were probably both just stunned a little bit by injuries.
I got one.
You got one basically, and it weren't good. How did that kind of affect your rhythm? What type of things, like what happened to you both, and like where did you sort of then go from maybe not getting another deal at either Leeds or Hull, just coming off the back of an injury? Where were you sort of at?
Yeah.
I'll go. Difficult one for me. I wasn't really injured that much at Leeds. My injuries kind of picked up when I went to Hull, but the only one for me, and I'll never put it down to an injury as to why I didn't get a pro, because ultimately I think there's a lot of reasons. But my big injury there was I partially fractured my back in my second year scholar, which was a bit gutting because my first year scholar I did really, really well. We won the league that year, didn't we? Yeah. So it was a good season. I think I played like every game pretty much. Don't actually think I saw the bench at all.
Don't look at me.
Did you?
He might have been.
Can I just say, I came in around Christmas and from then on, we were set to win the league. And we did. And if it weren't for me and Cunn and Bolton.
Cunn, yeah. Cunn made his debut as well at 18.
He did, yeah. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I saw it on the sign. We went to Thorpe Arch the other day, and there's a sign of everyone who graduated from the academy. Yeah. And I didn't realise, but he made his debut at 18.
QPR.
It's when he kind of first came in, didn't he, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
we didn't get called up for that.
fractured my back in the second year, which was a bit going because it just kind of, like you said, it just stumped me a little bit. It just halted me. So I was out for about, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months, and I was in the physio room with Luke Lyons, who was a player of ours, did a little bit of coaching for Theo Touch when you guys first started. And I think that probably it was a contributing factor to how I was around the building. I mean, I wasn't bad at all at Leeds, but I'm a bit cheeky. Like I am a bit. I've got a bit of a voice, and I think it was tough for me because when I was injured for so long, and I'm finding it so boring going in, doing my gym. You'll know, D. Like it's just repetitive every single day. You have to do it though if you're gonna get back.
How great is it, God?
But no, it's not ideal.
It probably made me drove me a little bit insane, and then I started messing around a little bit, which everyone does when you're a scholar. But I think I just took it a little. I think I took it a little bit too far and just and
got caught.
Yeah, and I actually got caught. Yeah,
that story. Don't
didn't get away with it. Yeah,
don't get caught.
That's about.
If you're gonna do it differently to me. But and I think that was ultimately one of the reasons why I didn't get a pro. Alongside there's miles better players than me at the time. But I think I look back on it now and I've got no regrets in terms of the way Leeds dealt with it because. Football's brutal. They're not going to take a chance on me if I'm acting a certain way, and in no way means was I bad, but I could have been more of a professional when I was there. So
yeah, no, I mean, we know you really well, and for someone so level-headed,
is he?
Well, I think he is.
I think most of the time.
I don't know.
Most of the time.
And
you don't see him as much as me.
You've obviously you had like a little side to you, which whether it's arrogance and edge, whatever you want to call it, which probably was a little bit of a factor in terms of where. Not necessarily who you are, but people have a perception on what you like.
Yeah.
Do you have if you had your time again, would you have done anything different at Leeds?
100%. I say this all the time. It's a weird one. at school, I wouldn't have changed anything because I just loved it at school. Like, just completely different, but it's two different settings. Like, I didn't really revise for my GCSEs. I didn't really. It was just that was just my that was just my personality.
It's like that's all the kids.
No.
Revise.
But this is what you can change, because then I'm looking back on it now, and I'd have changed how I was at Leeds completely. Like, on the pitch, I think I applied myself like 110% every single time. It was just off the pitch, I would mess around a little bit. So looking back, that's the one thing I would have changed, just how I was around the building sometimes, and not messing around when I just needed to be a little bit more professional. But granted, it probably what I needed in the greater scheme of things. Like, I think it has made me a better person, because I just know how brutal life can be. Like, you can just get dropped, especially in the job I'm in now. If I'm not on it, do you know what I mean? I can get the sack. So
how do you think you dealt kind of with that transition where maybe you left kind of Leeds to go to Hull, and then equally Hull to then come out of there and go into semi-pro football?
The transition from Leeds to Hull was all right. You know, like that first day that I got released, I was gutted, obviously. But like I said, I was booting ball bags. I was lobbing things around the changing room.
Was the 4 of us or 5 of us that got told that day if we were getting pros or not? And obviously me and Niall.
Yeah, you and Niall got one, didn't you?
Did we go first or did you and...
You went first.
Yeah, me and Niall went up and like, oh, congratulations, you're getting a professional contract and that. And
so at this point, when he's gone in, do you think you're...
I had the biggest smile on my face.
Bear in mind, about a week before, we were in the gym, he goes, I can't believe you're getting released and I'm getting a pro. That's what he said. You know what he's like.
He's bad.
That's the type of banter that...
That's just the banter.
Yeah, but no. That one banter, he was serious, by the way. He was serious. And then we went up, we got our pros, and then obviously me and Niall were buzzing. Came back down, he's gone up. Thinking, he's been in there a long time. He can't have got one. Anyway, came back down, we just heard this, I'm not going to shout it, scream. He screamed, walked back down, saw this bag and just booted this bag. And then, it was
I booted it and it hit Luke and he nearly brayed me.
it was actually hard not to laugh. It was hard not to laugh, but obviously because we knew how deep it was for him. Yeah. But he shouldn't have done that. That was funny.
It's a funny story.
What did they say to you? Like,
they just
similar to what we've spoken about.
It was just like as soon as I got in, they just kind of straight away just said like it's not good news. And I remember, honestly, it's funny because like I walked in like with a smile on my face. Like I thought I just was so confident I was getting one because I had such a good first year. I never really sat on the bench. I was always playing well. Like the year before, I think it was a year before I turned scholar, I won player of the season, didn't I?
I can't remember.
I think it was that year, or it might have been the year before that. Anyway, but yeah, I came in just like thinking I was going to get one.
It was under 11s, wasn't it?
There and then in the moment, they didn't really go into details. They just kind of said the basis of why I didn't get it, but it wouldn't really like explain that broadly. But then the next day, Jacko was my manager at the time, great guy, did a lot for me to be fair. So I never hold grudges against him. He was really good for me, but we just sat down the next day and just kind of unpicked it all, and I can't really argue it. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'll never ever any bad blood against any of the coaches or staff there or the club as a whole.
See, when I got released during COVID. So I'd done my first year pro, and obviously it was lockdown, so nobody was able to go anywhere or anything like that. And I got a phone call from academy manager, and he basically said, like, you're not coming back in, whatever. But like that was it. There was nothing else after that when I got released.
Find that quite... So I remember quite similar, really, like literally with it being COVID.
Yeah, because you were at the same time as me, weren't you?
I went in, I picked up a bin bag on my boots, and that was it. And I was like, well, that's 15 years here,
just gone, innit? Yeah,
weird.
It's mad, yeah.
Weird.
I think it's all changed now, though, innit? With like player well-being.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has, you know.
I think it has. I think there's a lot, especially with mental health in football.
No, it wasn't long ago. It wasn't
when we got released.
I think ultimately
you were a year before.
It depends how you leave as well. Like when I left, I already knew at the point when my last day at Leeds was, everyone already knew I was already signed at Barnsley for the next year, similar to you at Hull. Yeah. So I feel like if they know you're off into another environment, which is the same. But then again, like if you're during COVID and you can't go anywhere, and you've been somewhere like 50, how long were you there? 15?
12, 13 years.
12, 13 years. It's just like, we said it's longer than you're at school, and you spend time with your mates more. If you've been with him since you're like 6, 7 years old, you'll know him more than half your family, really.
Prison sentence. How do you think, obviously, I know you touched on that transition maybe from club to club, Lucas, but how have you found the transition into like non-league football?
I think I've personally struggled because the way I play is not like channel balls, win the second balls and all that sort of stuff. I'm quite like small and technical and like to, take people on or make like a killer pass or something like that. But I don't know. I think it's a completely different sport, and I don't think people actually realise that academy football is actually almost easier in a way than non-league.
Player.
You're in your little bubble, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. And the lower you go, the harder it becomes. Because
Weird,
the less technical.
we say that, especially against like for players like you. Sorry, like as weird as it sounds, you'd think the higher up you go, the harder it be. But for players like you, the higher up you play, the easier it would be for you because you play on nicer pitches. You play with players that want to keep it on the floor. You'd probably excel a little bit more. But like you said, it's harder.
Yeah, it is.
And you are like probably the weakest person I know. So like when you when you drop down, you are gonna. He does struggle. He does.
Can we get that video of dry dock up?
Don't worry about that one. Let's leave that one. What about you, Lucas? How have you found it anyway? You've been obviously you've played quite a lot of games in non-league.
Yeah. It was tough for me, but you helped me out a lot. A lot of credit to you because when I first came out of pro football, and I remember saying to you, like, my missus, I don't have a clue what I'm going to do now in terms of work.
Oh, yeah.
Some lads don't really work. Some lads just play because there's a lot of money in non-league football now. But I thought, if I just sit around at home all the time, I'm going to drive myself insane. So you helped me because you got me signed on to that agency, which was like a school's agency. So I'd ended up doing like cover teaching. It was the funniest thing because I joined this agency. Basically, they'd ring you up any day that they needed like a supply teacher in school. And obviously because of my coaching background. So I started off wanting to do PE. So I did PE in some schools like in Bradford and Leeds, just doing like supply work. And then one day, the school that I'm at now, actually Co-op in Leeds, they were like, oh, can you come in? We need someone to do like GCSE drama, science, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember going in thinking, what am I getting thrown into here? Like I've just come out of being a professional at Hull and now I'm teaching GCSE drama. I did a day at like Carmanor when I was doing like computer science. I'm walking around in a suit and it's just like, it's just
Never
crazy,
just
isn't it?
digging out his
You know
prom
when you
suit
try,
thinking that'll have to do with it. That'll have to do
It
with
actually was like my prom suit, like.
it's
But like the contrast
Scholar
between like
signing
where
on
you
there,
were,
so.
and I'm not saying I was like flying high at Hull, obviously not, but like from where you think you are.
It's the
to
two.
then
It's
get,
the two
like,
different environment
it's
settings. That's
completely
I think that's
different.
when reality kicks in.
The penny drops then.
Yeah, it
100%.
does,
That's when
yeah.
reality kicks in. It's like, look, you've got to make a choice here.
Oh,
You're playing part time.
Yeah.
You've just got to go into a job, one that you enjoy, but you've got to get your head round that you're gonna have to work a different job alongside football. Because I remember I did the same as you. I did the agency.
So did I, yeah.
But I got put into an SEN school. Similar to you, I didn't know what I was going into for. Let's suit it, full suit it, tie on, into an SEN school in Barnsley. I get in. And everyone's like in joggers and like quarter zips. I mean, am I a bit overdressed here? So I get in, and teacher says to me, "Yeah, it's an SEN school. Like they're going to be, like verbal to you and stuff like that." She says they probably are going to like pick your suit up and stuff. They will mention your suit. First kid walked in there, goes, "Who's been to charity shop then?" And then after that, it's just like
In fact, you sort of got me the job.
He passed it on. He got me the job. I got you the job.
I thought I'm not having a bit of that. Let's pass that on.
Yeah, I know. Look at him now. He's got a business.
And he,
we haven't.
I know, yeah, but
Well, you have. Well, you missed
yeah, it's funny though because
You have. Co-founder.
one of the lads and guys who I'm at now, we was having this conversation the other day after one of the games, and he was just saying about like, he was just like asking the question, what do you do for work? I don't know whether to get a job. And it was the same thing what you just said then. He was like, if I get a job, it's kind of that reality of like I'm not.
Football.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel like football's
not
done.
the priority anymore. And he kind of was saying, I might just stick with semi-pro, not have a job, go to the gym all the time, run all the time to keep that dream alive. It kind of crushes your dreams a little bit.
To be fair, like I say it to you all the time, and obviously that probably that's part of the reason why I'm maybe not still playing at a higher level is like that balance to be able to cope with keeping yourself in good shape, like coaching, working in a school and playing. It's tough, innit?
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard, and I think you don't, as a young person, you probably don't realise that, do you?
And like some days you can say you've got a job as well. You can start your day at like, well, you can set off for work at like 7:30 in the morning. You can go all the way through work, have a game on the night, not get home till 10:30, 11 o'clock. Then you're straight back up for work the next day. It's like, it is pretty relentless when the season's on, innit?
I remember we had South Shields away. I've got up for school in the morning, wake up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, do a full day in school, finish school about 4:30, get in my car, drive all the way up to Newcastle. Bearing in mind South Shields like full time. So I was playing against like Dylan Motley Henry, he's probably like stretching all day, like doing a bit of like rehab on the bike. Get to the game, and I'm thinking, right, like end up playing right back, out of position. We end up managing to win the game, get into my car to go back to Leeds, get home at like 2, 3 in the morning. Now my missus
You're
wakes
walking.
up. My
It's
missus,
not that far.
my missus wakes up at like 5 o'clock. And it's like walking with my footy bag at 2, 3 in the morning and walking out with my gym bag at like 5 or 6, like wiping my eyes. I'm just thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah,
it's tough,
it is mad. It is mad.
It is hard.
And obviously, me and Al, coaching being the full-time thing that we do, obviously alongside playing, whatever. But how do you boys deal with obviously managing the coaching, the work in the schools, the football as well? Like, do you find it sometimes difficult, or do you think...
sometimes you think, oh God, I just can't be bothered, sort of thing. This is too much. But I think we're quite lucky in the sense that because we do work in schools, we get a lot of time off as well.
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of lads in non-league football that, are PE teachers or work in schools and stuff. It sort of goes hand in hand, really.
Yeah.
And it does make your life that little bit easier, because if you were, for example, working on a site, the next morning at like 6 in the morning, you've just got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how people do it, because it's like, it's a grueling job and stuff like that. But we're quite lucky in that sense. I mean, we do have to run around a lot, don't we? But
but it's not like a proper physical job, is it?
it can be. Can be.
Getting booted over in fights and that, just getting racked about by kids that are double my height. Like.
And how did the actual, and obviously, Two Touch for us naturally kind of fell into it. How did it come about for you boys, the coaching side of things? Is it something that you think you had an interest in before you as you were kind of leaving full-time football, or?
I would never. It never really crossed my mind at all.
It did for me. I always fancied it a bit.
We were like agents, weren't we? We dropped as soon as they left full time. Hey, mate,
Who were the
got an
best two
opportunity
lads
for you.
I can think of?
Do you know what it was like? We was all close at Leeds. Do you know what I mean? Granted, you weren't in our age group, but we used to always car share.
I just had to hang on, didn't I?
Yeah.
4 years still.
But like us, like we were close because we were at Leeds. But
Particularly in like the
I wouldn't say we were like the closest.
Best mates,
like best mates.
Me-
Maybe you think we were. He's gutted. He's fuming about that.
I had you on my top 10. But
Because he had no mates.
But I think
no, I know what you mean. Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be us
like
four
yeah,
now.
literally now like we're just like, do you know what I mean? We speak every single day. Like we just see each other all the time. So it's nice. Like it's life after football, isn't it? That's what it is. And
yeah, but you two were always close, and we were always quite
so it
close.
kind of fit hand in hand, to be fair. And then, but yeah, I think coming out of footy, I never really thought about coaching. But when you guys just dropped the message, it was kind of something I was like, it kind of just, like you said, it just fits hand in hand with playing part-time football, having a little bit of coaching. Especially, I think I started doing it in the summer. If it was in the winter, I probably would have said no. But we started it in the summer, and it was just like nice outside. It was just doing one-to-ones. Like it was just good, bit of money. And I think, like you said, how do I balance all 3 jobs that I've got? I'm just so like money-driven. Like sounds like I just genuinely like I'm. No, genuinely like I'm just like I think sometimes I work way too much. I don't see enough of my missus. I don't see enough of my mates. But like, eventually, I think
You never see enough of your mates.
Name
don't see enough of one, two.
Go on, name them all. We've got plenty of time.
But I just think I just want to make money. I'm a provider. Do you know what I mean? Like I like to
You just
provide.
got a new business?
I have, yeah. It's mainly my missus, but me and her have.
Do you want to shout it out on the...
Yeah, Nourish and Go. It's a meal prep delivery service, so have a look on the socials.
Do you know what? I can vouch for it. The food is
a joke.
It is good, yeah. I've had it for the last few months at work, and it's...
He's
can't run a Ferrari with no fuel,
He's been testing the meals, so he's had it good.
Yeah.
Had it good.
Some need tweaking, but rest of the
She'll be dropping you a message now.
yeah, I'm blocking your shills.
So, Theo, obviously, went through Leeds, but there was a little point where you probably started to progress on like really, really well.
Yeah.
And you got an England call up.
I did, yeah.
With, was it Harrison Mail as well? Was he there at
Big
Leeds at the
Bowles,
time?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk us through when you got the call up and when you played a game, 2 games, 1 game for England?
1 game, yeah, against USA.
Yeah.
So the first camp we were in the under 15s. I don't know why you're laughing, because none of you were there. You were nowhere near it, actually. Yeah, under 15s, it was like a camp at St George's Park. That wasn't anything to do with the game or anything. There was like 30 odd lads there from like all the top clubs in the country. And yeah, me and Harrison Mail went down and the standard was like a joke, a joke. Came back from that, obviously carried on playing for Leeds. Then went to another camp, which was at, I can't remember where it was at, Loughborough or something like that. Did well in that, and then got like an email not long after that to say that I'd been called up to play. Why are you laughing? Come on.
It's a good story.
No, I know it is.
It's a good story.
I know. Yeah. Let me speak then. Got an email to say that I'd been called up to be involved in the squad at St George's Park, and there was like 18 lads, something like that. I can't remember exactly. And we played against USA. They had some decent players. They had Brendan Aronson was actually playing. Timothy Weir, do you know him?
Yeah.
He's at Juve.
Were you playing with any alright players like on your team?
Look at him. Yeah, there were some steady players, yeah. Phil Foden. Yeah, so in the team was like, I was like a fish out of water basically, because there was like Foden, Sancho, Emile Smith-Rowe, Angel Gomez. They were different level, yeah. They were a joke, yeah. And they all knew they were a joke as well.
Yeah.
Who else were there? Callum Hudson-Odoi, he was my roommate. Ryan Sessegnon. Basically all of them apart from me and Harrison Mail have done like, they're all playing Champions League and that.
Champions League.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You know what? As much as I hate you,
Yeah.
like genuinely hate him, he, and I've said this, I always say it, you were like, he was like known as like, there was a point when you were just known as like the star boy of our team, especially at our age group. He was sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah, from 12.
And he was like, I remember
Still not
you
in
put
the
that,
same gear, right?
Still fit.
he's still got the same shoes.
They'll run there. All right, you know.
They've got some miles in these.
Yeah, but you,
They've been stretched all these years.
and he's just like,
Yeah, my mum's partial
Every,
to Adidas tracksuit.
I remember that picture you put on Insta, I'll never forget that, with that like drop of stuff you got.
Oh, yeah,
So you used to get
yeah.
sent boots from Adidas all the time, but that picture, he's still got it on his, he'll never delete that off his Instagram.
Will
He's
not.
like, he got sent like 8 boxes of clothes, and I don't even know how much stuff he got. And he just sat in, his,
Loads,
in the living room like this, and he's just surrounded with a room full of just
Yeah, I
boots.
think I was about 14 at the time.
But
I
at that point,
remember,
that must get to your head, like, and you'd be thinking,
I was
I'm the
12,
guy here.
12 when it first happened. So I remember. Do you remember Lee Bromby?
Yeah.
So he was our coach at the time, only like for a little bit, and he came over to me before training one night, and my mum had brought me that day actually, and he was like, "Oh, is your mum here or your dad?" I was like, "Yeah, my mum's here." Thinking, "Oh, she could have done anything." Do you know what I mean? You know what she's like.
What's she done?
Yeah,
Who's she hurt here?
What's she done?
What she said. And then he came over, he was like, "Oh, Adidas have been in touch. They want to sponsor you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I had no idea. I was only year 8 at school, so I had no idea what it was. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to give you the guy's number, and then he'll be in touch." And then literally like a week or 2 later, this guy from Adidas rang my dad and was like, "Oh, we've watched him for quite a while. We want him to wear our boots and clothes and stuff like that." And then within like another few weeks after that, I'd like signed a contract to Adidas, a 3-year contract, and then signed another 4-year one after that. So it was unbelievable. I had like a Adidas credit card and could go into the shops and just get whatever.
I can't think of anyone worse to have a free credit card than it'd be this man.
You know what? Whoever signed him at Adidas and thought he'll be a good model for our clothes needs sacking instantly.
ASAP. Gone. I'm joking, mate. You're a good-looking lad. You know you.
I'm steady.
Is crazy that, but is there any others? Keep it relatively PG for me. I know I'm sure you can think of plenty that are not PG, but any funny stories that you boys or that stand out to you from your time?
I thought about this.
I'd like to hear what he's got to say, because
No, it wouldn't have Leeds, because some of the Leeds ones were just like stupid. Like they're just not.
do you remember when I set your hair on fire?
Yeah.
That one was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny, that one.
Shevin.
I didn't even know if
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, you will have been.
I might have been.
His
I
hair's
was.
been set on fire multiple times, to be
Yeah,
honest.
probably too many
I
It
times.
was,
remember
it was
which
one of the education days at Leeds.
He
Because
shouldn't
I had a
have
big,
been there.
I had a big hedge on my
Yeah,
top of
you
my
look
head.
like
He
you
was
had
29 at that point. I don't know why you were there.
I was still kicking
You were
around.
teaching?
I was, yeah. He just brought me in, the extra member of support staff. Not good.
And
Not good.
you give me the lighter, didn't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, we found this lighter at Otley Shevin, and he just gave me it, and I went, "Oh, just put your head down." He went, "Boom," and I just went bang like that, and he looked like the Olympic torch. You see
was
his
a-
afro
there was
with
a
a
lot
load
of
of
hair
S-curl
to
in
play
it.
with.
S-curl,
He
and
did
his head just went poof like that. And then you've got Katie Slee and Vicky Slee just slapping his head. Everyone's thinking he was going to die there and then.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I don't condone playing with fire, but it,
No, yeah.
it needed to go anyway, that head, didn't it? So
That did you?
That
Give you
was
a
bad,
right
yeah.
trim. You
That
stunk after
that
that
was
as
your
well.
mushroom head, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
that proper box.
that was
that.
bad.
I'd say my only
Bad
funny
trip.
one were, not only funny one, but my one that I can remember is, I don't know how funny it is, but when I were playing at BPA, we played Ashington. I want to say it was 2 years ago, in like the FA Cup or something like that. In like the FA Cup or something like that. And I think one of the supporters had passed away or something, so we had to wear like these black.
Oh, I thought you meant at the game.
No. Like one of the supporters had passed away, so we had to wear like like those black armbands
Respect bands.
in respect. And I remember all the players on our team had them on, everyone on their team had them on, and mine was just so baggy. And I remember putting it on and saying to the lads, like, this ain't gonna fit on my arm, like my arm's too small. Like, and I stepped out on the pitch and I remember like trying to tighten it and put it up like round my shoulder and that. Yeah. And I remember running up and down the line and it just kept falling down my hand. So I'm running with it, just holding it, because my arm was just too skinny at the time. And then the fans like clocked on, and I remember because I was playing right back, so I was near the touchline and they were going, he was having me on about my armband, like, don't fit your arm, it don't fit my arm, blah, blah, blah. And I remember just being dead embarrassed because I'm trying to get it up every time and it wasn't working, so I just ended up chucking it off the pitch.
You've definitely got funnier than that.
No, do you know what?
No, that is a
No,
that
I
is
have to
a
try and get the
responsible-
video. I have
Changing
to get the
room.
video of this, right? That video, you
crap
know where he's got
video.
it, and he's gone to go
Oh my
line,
God.
and he's gone, ooh, hello.
Yeah, that was bad. Crap were bad.
I'll have to try find a video of
I've
that.
got it.
I'll
I've got it
try
on
get it
and
up.
tag
You
it
can
on.
put that on the socials, can't you?
Mate, it's different.
No, that is funny.
Oh, that one when you got bodied. I've got it on video and you did a cartwheel. That was brilliant as well. Bolton.
Don't remember that.
You do remember
You got
that.
bullied back to picnic, didn't you, against Palace. I've heard that one.
Oh, when I got concussion.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Jump.
I
Did
don't.
you come on as a sub?
Can't remember.
You concussed like
I think you came on as a sub.
I don't remember
and
anything.
Within about 5 minutes,
I'd scored an own goal, didn't I?
you'd scored an own goal.
So we just started doing
Scored an own goal, and the game were like really just passing you by. And I think at the point we were
Yeah, but I
like,
was concussed.
we were like
That's why.
2-1
Not a good excuse,
2-1,
mate.
3-1 down.
Get on it, get on it.
And like, I remember, as a sub, you come on and you need to make an impact. You need to look like you're running around.
Jesus
And
Christ.
Jacko, I remember
Couldn't even
Jacko shouting, I'm
think.
going, is he all right? And you're going, I don't know where I am.
No, I couldn't speak. Do you not remember? They pulled me over. I walked
speak.
over like a little dog, and I was thinking, I can't speak. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything, and they just went like that.
I think I remember they put a cross in and you were back stick and the lad's basically headed your head
He's headed
into
me,
the
yeah.
goal when you've headed the ball into the net.
Yeah, something. I've watched
You
it
stood up
back.
well, didn't you?
I don't know why.
I mean,
Why was it?
And then we just fell to pieces. Did you play in that game?
I was injured.
Josh Ray
Palace
picked
away,
it
I was
up.
like,
The last 10 minutes, we just fell to pieces. Like the keeper won the ball for striker and
Josh,
panicked
remember?
and kicked out for a corner. And we fell to pieces.
No,
I
but
remember
that doesn't do what he did justice. That.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen on a football pitch.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
But going to like the worst thing to like the best thing, what's like been your best time on a football pitch where you felt top of your game and you felt, you got like either a chance or you probably felt most confident.
Do you mean like personally, or do you mean like just a career high?
Or just any career high that you
I'd say my
had.
career high was when we won the league. That were like,
It was good though.
because it was just us and Bolton, we just hated each other. Do you remember that? Yeah, under 18s.
Yeah,
we just hated each other.
Do you remember how it would
We had
if
to win that game.
if we'd have drawn, they'd have won the league, and
Yeah.
we won 1-0.
And Harrison Mail got sent off, and then they were
And Ryan
like,
Edmondson got sent off as well. The last 5 minutes.
yeah, last 5 minutes. But H got sent off after like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Do you remember they took back his red card?
Yeah, and then we went to Zante, didn't we?
Yeah,
and we went for it.
So we all won the league, and then literally like a week later, we were on it.
That was a good little week.
That was best summer. That.
Yeah.
There were
that was a
14
good
of us,
week.
wasn't there?
Yeah.
But
We had a rubbish time. Won't go back.
But yeah, that was probably my career high in terms of like.
So just now, as we start to come more towards the end, out of all of the journeys that you've had, obviously you're in a coaching role now with us at Two Touch, and a lot of us always get asked, like, how should parents be, or what should the players be doing at this age? Have you got any advice now for any coaches, parents, players? Have you got any advice that maybe you think from your experiences,
I think
anything you'd have done different, or anything that maybe you'd have probably...
You're gonna stop. I think like how I grew up and how my parents were with me, there was never like any pressure whatsoever. So it was like, if you ever don't enjoy football or anything like that, just stop. Just don't do it. Because I obviously loved the game and loved playing. I never wanted to stop. I mean, could do now, but that's different, isn't it? When you're a kid, it's like, it's all you want to do. So my parents had never like pressure. They'd only ever like cane me if I didn't work hard, which wasn't often, to be fair. If like I misplaced a pass or anything like that, they know I don't mean to, and they know I don't mean to lose the ball or have a shot and it don't go in. So that's the best way to do it. And when I do play well, and score a load of goals or whatever, they don't like build me up all the way and stuff like that. So you've got to find a balance, because if you're too on it, I think it'll make your life harder. I think personally.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, a balance. I think one of the things for me, I remember, it was my dad who used to take me to all my games, like
Big
all
Paddy.
my training, Big Paddy.
Boo yourself. He's in a pantomime, by the way.
Yeah, but he's good in pantomime. You went to watch him, didn't he?
Yeah, we did. Like Billy Elliot.
He used to take me to all my games and train and everything. So I used to chat to him in the car, and I remember in my car.
Come on, buddy, let's go.
But I remember I used to love talking to my dad about football and stuff on the way there, and then on the way back, I just never used to want to speak, even if I had a good game, which was most of the time. I just never. I just never used to want to speak, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if you're just too footballed out sometimes, and you just kind of want to speak about something different. You get in the car and you just want to go home, and you don't want. Then I just didn't want my dad. And my mum used to be the worst. You should just go and just speak about all this, because I guess they just think you're so football obsessed and mad with it.
And they care as well.
Yeah, and they care and they want to ask questions, but it's hard when you're a kid. And to be fair, I think one of the things that I look back on, I think I never really used to do like one-to-one coaching or like group sessions or like anything like that. It wasn't really like big then. And I think if I was a kid now, I probably would be doing that stuff, and I'd have so much more workload, but it probably would have made me a better footballer. But it's just about finding that balance in it, because I reckon there's a lot of kids now who are doing a lot of one-to-ones and a lot of coaching, but it's making them better players, and they're taking that step up.
You don't want to burn yourself out though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So it's all right. I think it's all right to just have them days when you're just a bit tired.
And flip that from, obviously you spoke about your parents. What would you any advice be to any young players that are kind of obviously wanting to play at the highest level possible? We all know that stuff can stop you from doing that, but what would be advice to any young players?
You've just got to enjoy it, embrace the fact that there's going to be ups and downs, and to work your socks off, because if you don't do that, you ain't got a chance, regardless of how good you are, because there's people that are probably as good, if not better, that are working twice as hard. So you've got to. It's cliche, innit? But it's true. Because do you remember when Billy Russell said to us, we were over in Spain, and he said, "You're not actually just competing against people in Leeds and stuff. You're competing against the whole world, like for your age group and
he used
older."
Proper advice, didn't he?
Yeah, it was wise.
I remember him saying to me that, obviously we had Mark Jackson. I remember him going, as scholars, you're just 18, you're just playing football, and you think, obviously, you're working harder than anyone else, or you think you're doing all this, and it's like, in this little bubble where you think you're going to go into the first team. I remember him saying to me that Jacko wanted us all to be footballers more than we wanted it. And I was thinking, well, he definitely doesn't, because I now want to be a footballer. He's like, well, no, he's like, you've just gone and done a session there. You're then going to go and have a laugh with your mates, have dinner, go home, and just play Xbox or whatever. He's like, whereas He's spent all morning thinking about a session designed to get the best out of you. He's then put the session on. He's then going to go away and write about the session, think about another session. He's then going to be thinking about the game at the weekend and how to play and get the best out of you and go through all the analysis. And I think as footballers, you just get caught up.
It passes you by, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then you go into then non-league like we are now, and a lot of the time it's literally like dog eat dog. You know, sometimes non-contract, players aren't playing, go somewhere else, or if you're on a contract, you're playing, but you train Tuesday, Thursday on a Saturday, and then other than that, it's just, you know, you're either playing or you're not, are you?
I think as I've grown up, and you all know, like, football is like a game of opinions. Do you know what I mean? Like, it properly is just a manager's opinion. You earn your own luck in football, and you have to work hard to be able to get that luck. And I feel like there's players playing at higher levels now that you think, hold on a minute, how are they there? But they've just had a manager that really likes them. So I think for young players,
But also they have to take the opportunities.
Yeah,
100%. You've got to grasp those opportunities. That's what I'm saying. So you got to work hard for it. But I think that there's a big thing, especially where if you're going to get released somewhere, if you're not wanted by a manager, or you're not liked, especially as you grow older and it gets a little bit harsher, you need to kind of build that resilience up to not think this is just me done. Like, I'm not liked by this manager, I'm not a good player, because the next club you go to, the gaffer could think you're the best player on the... Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different opinions in football. You're going to be liked somewhere, that someone's going to like you, someone's going to want you and appreciate how good you are at football.
Yeah, and like being released, looking back, it actually doesn't matter at all, does it? Because there's so many other clubs out. I mean, it has for us.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it still being at Leeds.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
It's
Though.
harder if you leave a club like Leeds where you're in a bubble. Like, if you have a 2-year, 3-year deal at Leeds, you've got opportunities to branch out on loans and stuff. I think when you come out of it, especially at a time during COVID. Like,
no, that's different. But what I'm trying to say is, like, there is going to be people out there that do appreciate
and if you're
what
good
you're
enough,
good at. If you're good enough, you'll get there.
Comfortably good enough. And I think eventually you find a level that you want to play at. So obviously we all know Matty could play higher, I think.
I don't know anymore.
No, you could.
You twist me now, wouldn't you?
Because of like work and injuries that he chooses to play at that level.
Yeah.
We've all made some choice to play at the level that we're at and have made it, you know, a decision to be content at that. Obviously, different circumstances, opportunities arise where you might challenge yourself at a higher level or you might drop down to play at a lower level for whatever reason. But I think everyone eventually plays at a level for one particular reason or another.
It's about enjoying it.
Enjoying it as well,
So
isn't
as long as you enjoy that process.
Like, you know, you could play higher, but you wouldn't enjoy it because you wouldn't be able to, like, you wouldn't be able to relax. How many goals did you score last year?
It was a dry year, mate. It was a dry year. And so was the year before.
Did you?
Yeah, I scored 1.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like,
I
actually,
think I lost count. I lost count how many I scored.
Well, I can't count for you. You got 11. So
Was that the top goal scorer?
you were at Haaland, mate.
Boys, absolute pleasure. But before we finish, I've just got a couple of questions kind of from some parents and some of the kids, and some quick fire ones. I'll give you the choice. Do you want the quick fires first, or do you want the questions? The slightly longer ones first. Your choice.
Do the questions first.
Questions
then do the
first.
quick fire.
So first one is going to be from Dan and Auckland Kilbride. Favourite pair of football boots, fellas?
Oh, F50s.
F50. You got to say Adidas, innit?
It's not sponsored anymore, mate.
Oh, so I forgot, man. I thought I was.
I wear Phantoms now, but they're not my favourite. I think my favourite I would probably be Tiempos the whole.
No way.
No, it was when I grew up just wearing
No wonder
Tiempos.
you couldn't run.
I grew up just wearing Tiempos.
They are great
They're
boots.
so
Nice one was
comfy.
Steelers.
But I used to play like I was a defender, like I was a centre back. Do you remember? I was like the smallest centre back ever.
Mascherano.
Yeah, Daily Blind. But now I've got too much flair though, so I can't wear Tiempos.
Go that far.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've always been a Nike.
You've always
man.
been Nike, haven't you?
I've always been a Nike man, yeah.
Like Mercurials.
Mercurials or Phantom, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I remember I made a bad decision once. I thought I would get into an under-16s era where I was playing in the 10 and I thought I was a little bit flary. And I bought some pink ones and I got there and for whatever reason at 16s we didn't have a left back. And because I was quite versatile, Andy Gray, it was his first game in charge, he put me at left back. So I'm walking out in these pink boots playing left back and I thought...
That's why I couldn't buy pink boots.
I've got to get some different
I
boots
said you
here.
can't be a defender wearing pink boots, can you?
Can't be done, mate. CTRs for me. Red, white, Jack Wilshere.
You used to try and source them out for like years and you
Of course I do.
I'm not. How many
I'm still
pairs
looking
of them
now.
X's have I given you?
Yeah, a few.
The
But it's
yellow
still
ones and that.
CTR.
The yellow and the red
sells
one.
them.
Yeah.
You sell them on?
Yeah.
Them red and orange ones, yeah, I remember them. You loved them.
Go on then, next one.
we'll open it up then. This one's from Sunny Wright. Who is the best from us four here? Best player? I don't know how
He's just looked at me straight away, so that's all I have
No,
to
no,
say.
no, I was waiting for you to say me.
Please, sir.
No, growing up, I think comfortably it probably was me.
I didn't play with you or against you enough.
I'm
not-
now what
no.
we're on about, like,
You know
growing
what?
up, or what we're on about, like...
I don't know.
Now I'd probably say you. Your knee's mangled. I've got one knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
You're-
say you're on the pitch at the moment.
You're the only one that's actually able to move it.
Fit.
Yeah, true, yeah. You were at Starboy when we were younger.
Yeah.
We didn't play enough with you, but if you played at England and stuff like that,
You nearly made your debut in Champions League for Man United, didn't you? When you
That's what his dad said, it. Awards evening.
scored 94 goals in 10 appearances.
I don't think anyone could.
But we
None
thought
of you
Leeds was a
lot.
better fit.
That era I was at Man United, none of you lot could lace my boots. Well,
I was going to say about Theo.
he did win Apprentice of the Year twice.
To be fair,
4 years on spot,
you
man.
were out of all of us.
He was really good at education.
Setting
Out of
a
all of us,
fire,
you've
super.
been the closest at first team. Haven't you? Like,
I
you
was
travelled.
on bench in a pre-season
No,
game.
yeah, but you travelled. Like,
Would have, but no one went down injured, which was a real shame.
Were you on
you was
the
like in and about it there, weren't you? Like,
Nah,
He was 19th man.
He was good, you know.
I would have been if.
you said it as if like no one knows he's good.
No, he was good.
Yeah. I went, when you're 19th man, he went, I would have if someone got injured. So what, you're a 20?
So you were just a fan.
You know what I mean? When you train and like, obviously they were travelling that day. I was just part of training.
So you just went on bus.
I didn't even go on bus.
Your dad took you. Get in, Andy. Come on, Dad. We have to watch the game.
I went 20th man all last year for Leeds in Championship, mate.
Fantastic. But no, good. Well, should we settle on? We'll go. You when you were younger.
You now.
I'll take that.
Sounds good. Right, quick fires. I'm gonna go. I'll send one at you, and you're just gonna come. We'll just go.
Yeah, sweet.
That makes sense.
Do you want to go first then? You answer
One
first.
word answers.
Or do you want me to answer?
All right, yeah. Go
Yeah,
on.
sweet.
Favorite food.
Chinese.
Chinese.
Pasta.
Pasta. Favorite song.
Ooh.
You've got to know it as well. Can't just be some Greek.
No, it's not a great
Yeah,
song.
good.
Some Greek tune.
I don't know you now.
Go on, quick.
Piano Man, Billy Joel. You won't know it.
Don't know. John Legend, Green Light.
Did.
John
I'm
Legend's
thinking
gone.
of. Give me the green light. Ready to go. I was like,
Go on, little.
favorite footy team.
Leeds.
Leeds.
Night in or night out.
Out.
Night in.
Shock. Best player you played with or against. In fact, we'll go with first.
Foden.
Okay.
With. I don't know.
Me.
Best player I played with.
Clarkey.
Yeah. I'd probably say he used to just tear it up for us.
Yeah, he was
he
good,
was
wasn't
just a joke when we. I mean, it's a joke now, but he used to, Clarkey.
Against.
Jack Clark.
Against. Angel Gomez.
Good feet.
Oh my lord. Do you remember? I was playing up.
He came to United the year I left.
Oh,
he-
so
he-
a bit of a downgrade for them then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they regret it some of us now.
Yeah, do you remember this game where... Oh, sorry.
It's in quick fire, mate.
Go on, elaborate, mate. Go on.
It was 0-0, he was late. He
Did you
turned
play
up.
for us?
Yeah,
I
I played,
remember
yeah. He
this.
turned up.
Yeah.
And,
Turned up late again.
And just, I don't know how many he bagged,
scored,
like 4 or 5,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
won 6-0.
Because that was for my age, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
You
yeah.
call
I
that
played
an
up. I played
impact
up.
sub?
Because I remember that was
I
one of
reckon
the
he might have got a
first-
start next week.
That was one of the first games that I played Man United since I left, so I was proper pumped and we got in first half, did well.
Well,
didn't
yeah,
we?
because
0-0.
it was 0-0. Then he got off the bus, walked onto the pitch, bang,
Yeah.
6-0.
Trainers on.
Yeah.
Mine
was-
would be Jude Bellingham, probably.
Oh,
He just
yeah.
used to tear it apart, didn't he?
No, he
Granted, no, he did. He was a joke.
Do you want me to say it, or do you want to say
What?
it? When he got chopped by him.
I got chopped.
And
It
then
was
I got
disgusting.
hat
No,
trick
it was,
and we won
it was just the filthiest Cruyff I've ever seen. I just went sliding like across
Still
half.
going.
But the last time we played Birmingham City, I think I pocketed him. Do you remember the last time we played him?
I won't go that far.
We didn't score.
He did.
Oh, he scored from the halfway line, didn't he?
That was years ago. That was
Oh,
when
was
I
it?
got hat trick.
Right.
No, the last time we played him was in under 18s. We won 2-1. I got 2 assists.
Right. Jude Bellingham.
I don't think
Jude
Jude
Bad
Bellingham.
players, is it?
Not a bad player.
Could be a lot worse.
He was good though.
Very good. And he was so much younger, wasn't
Yeah, 2 years younger than us. It made you look stupid.
Sporting idol.
Messi. Or Ronnie O'Sullivan. Bang.
Okay.
he? Giannis Antetokounmpo. My Nigerian bloodline.
He's not, he's Greek.
No, he's not. He's Nigerian. Lads.
He's both
Grew
of
up
ours.
in
then.
Greece.
Get in, he's both of
You've not
ours.
seen the film?
No, mate.
Nah.
3 people at a dinner party, Gob, who are you going for?
Ooh. Like, dead or alive?
Anyone you like.
Could just say you three, couldn't I?
Well, you could do, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't
Like it.
Messi. Maradona.
Can you speak?
It's a boring.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
so
boring
simple.
Can you
that.
speak? Can you speak to them in any language? Like you can't speak the language.
I can nod at him.
It
Lads.
Just playing the tennis balls already.
All right, fine, not them two. I'll go.
You
Go on,
have your
Messi,
part.
Maradona.
They're quick fire, these, aren't they?
Scotty T.
Decent. Yeah, I'm sure he'd go.
I
well
really
into-
didn't mean that.
I'm sure he'd go really
Why on
well.
earth would I have said that?
That's such a weird
I needed
shout.
someone that could have a drink. I'll change it.
Odd shout. Oh, he's gone.
All right, go Gazza then. Not Scotty.
No. Scotty T. That's his idol.
Come back.
He wanted,
Come here. Where are you going? Come back. Come on, son.
he wanted to say that for idol, but he said it. Oh, mate.
Oh, can we make a reel out of
A real.
Go on.
So bad.
This is a decent,
do you know what?
decent free now.
He could just say like
Anything.
the Queen and that, and it's still better than what I've just said.
that? Imagine him having a dinner party.
Messi, Maradona, Scotty T. That is brilliant, mate.
I didn't say I was there, did I?
Oh, mate.
It's a
three.
great back four.
I'd probably. Oh, mate, I'm crying.
There's no point you even saying anything.
I know, yeah. No, I
Next
do
question.
it. Conor McGregor, I'm obsessed with him. Joke of a guy. Giannis again, because I just love him.
Can you speak Greek or
And-
Nigerian?
He speaks alright English, to be fair.
Have you spoke to him?
And Goggins, David Goggins.
That's just actually
That
pretty
is
solid, mate.
that's solid, mate. So many different characters there.
And last
You're gonna
one
finish
then.
that food.
Last one. Dream holiday destination.
California.
Bora Bora.
Superb.
Decent there. Oh, I'm crying.
He
Well,
he doesn't mean that, does he?
Fellas, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I'm sure obviously a lot of people will gain a good insight to you boys a little bit more, and obviously any advice that you've given us. Before you leave though, we do have a ritual on the show where you take part in our shooting challenge. Are you up for that?
Good, mate. Let's do it.
Welcome to our two-touch You Know the Drill. 5 different shooting challenges. 3 shots into the big goal against my goalkeeper Matty, and there's also going to be 2 different types of finishes into the 2 mini goals. So come take a look. Ready?